All right, everybody, listen up. We got to talk about this D23 stuff. There's a lot of news here, like way more news than I thought we would be getting. Kind of thought maybe after San Diego Comic-Con they'd chill, but no, Marvel's just like... And so in this video, we're going to break it all down. I want to talk about everything that was revealed for Marvel Studios, and it's kind of a lot. Also, briefly, want to talk about Star Wars. In fact, let's start with the Star Wars bit. First up, Skeleton Crew. They did have Jude Law come out on stage, and they actually did show a full trailer online, first official trailer for Skeleton Crew. And my honest opinion of the trailer is that it's pretty cool. Like, nothing blowing me away in the trailer, but definitely better than I expected, and I've heard a lot of weird things about this show from behind the scenes. Unfortunately, some people saying it's not really that great, which honestly is not that surprising, just given the track record of Lucasfilm lately. But the show doesn't look bad, and it seems to be aimed at young people and families, so we'll see if they can kind of break into a market there, get some views, and have a success, and maybe I'll give it a shot. Next up, they talked about Andor Season 2. Diego Luna did come out on stage. A couple of the details shared here. It does release in 2025. It leads directly up to Rogue One. It takes place over a 4-year period, with each of the 4 episode cores taking up about a year of time. Or I guess the way they said it was there's a 1-year time skip between every 3 episodes. Ben Mendelsohn is returning as director Krennic. Forrest Whitaker returns as Saw Gerrera. Alan Tudyk returns to voice K2SO. And look, I'm not going to hide the fact that I really didn't like Andor Season 1, but I am going to give Season 2 a shot. I've heard Season 2 is going to be very different, feel more Star Warsy. And I also acknowledge that a lot of people really enjoyed Andor, even though it didn't get crazy viewership. In fact, I think the viewership was kind of bad. But Star Wars could really use a win right now, and if Andor Season 2 is decent, that's going to be good for everybody. Now, next up, they did actually have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni come out on stage, and they showed a little bit of stuff for The Mandalorian and Grogu. They told everybody at D23 they basically just started filming this thing, so there's no trailer, there's no way they were going to have something like that ready, but they did actually show a sizzler reel, which shows a bunch of footage from the show, and it did show what seemed to be at least one new scene of Mando and Grogu actually going up against some huge Imperial walkers. Like, if that actually happened in the show, I don't remember it. So that feels very cinematic, feels very movie-esque, so maybe that's cool. So that's what Star Wars talked about at D23, but there's actually another piece to this story, which is what they didn't talk about and who wasn't there. Kathleen Kennedy did not come up on stage at all. She did not present anything, at least as far as I'm aware. And on top of that, there was no mention of the Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy Rey movie, and some people are speculating that perhaps Kathleen Kennedy's time is actually done at Lucasfilm and the Rey movie has been canceled, which I personally think would be great, but I also don't want to weigh this video down with all of my toxicity about it. But now let's talk about the actual good stuff. Marvel's been on a bit of a roll lately, and this presentation popped off. They went way crazier than I thought they were going to. First up was Captain America Brave New World, which not only got a whole new trailer with footage of Harrison Ford transforming into the Red Hulk, but to my surprise, he also looked incredible. Now, look, I just want to say this. I've been kind of worried about Captain America Brave New World. Like, how could you not? They did like 4 rounds of reshooting and spent all the money. Like, there's no more money now because of this movie. And when we first saw that teaser trailer and you see Harrison Ford, Red Hulk from behind, you're kind of like, yo, like, he's kind of looking good, but I got to see the face to be sure, man. I'm not sure. I was super worried about it. At least I was worried about Uncanny Valley, Harrison Ford face looking at me on a Red Hulk body. Like, I was really worried. And I'm happy to report that this shit looks so good. I mean, look, not everybody loves it, but just for me, I guess gotta be honest, like, I love this look, man. This is a great looking Red Hulk. This Harrison Ford Red Hulk looks so damn good. And I think this is probably the same trailer and footage that was shown at San Diego Comic-Con a couple of weeks ago, but it's cool that they showed it here at D23 because a lot of people took pictures of it. It leaked online. Trailer looks really cool. I can't show you the whole thing because of like Disney and Feige coming after me, but it looks fun. It looks cool. The second trailer was even better, and it is so nice to know that the Harrison Ford Red Hulk is actually going to be amazing looking in the movie theater. Kind of excited to see this one. one now. Next up, we had the Fantastic Four First Steps. And a lot of this I like, a lot of this I don't like. But we're going to be chill about it. You know, we're not going to overreact. Let's just talk about it. What did they show? Well, I mean, first up, even before the panel yesterday, Michael Giacchino did play the score for the Fantastic Four. I assume this is like the main theme for Marvel's First Family, and it's cool. Like, I love it, dude. Good vibes. It you know, does musical things, like swells and then falls into lower things, and then there's musical bits and parts like that are, you know, musical. It's got a good vibe. I like it. Okay, so that's good. Next up, you see the cast send in a video, and they're filming, so they couldn't make it to D23, and that's fine, and they look decent. Look, I gotta be honest here. I'm gonna let him cook, but I am still not sold on Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, and nothing I've seen so far makes me feel like, oh shit, no, he can actually pull Reed off, and this is a great version of Reed Richards. Don't hate me, internet. I'm just being honest. And the other thing is Joseph Quinn over here, right? I mean, he's in the suit, he's got highlights in his hair, but he's looking a little too much like that weird character he plays in the Gladiator movie, and not the absolute playboy friggin' crazy Johnny Storm. And weirdly enough, like, thanks to Deadpool and Wolverine, we just got another little taste of Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, and he was so good, dude. Oh my god. And so looking at this Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm here, I'm just like, what is happening? Like, this, I don't know. It's just what? Again, I am going to let them cook. I am excited about the movie, but this is just, I don't know. I'm not being blown away in the way that maybe I would have wanted to. Now, they did actually pull together some of what they've already shot to do like a little teaser trailer. There's a couple of cool things in there. I mean, you got Reed talking about different universes. That's pretty cool. We also get our first look at Ben Grimm, not only pre-cosmic rays hitting them, but post. See him over there with the contestants, right? Check this out. That is the first look at what the thing is going to look like. We see the family dynamic, and like Sue Storm's telling people that Johnny Storm's single and he's looking all awkward. And again, I'm just like, what the hell, man? This version of Johnny isn't a playboy. He's just like an awkward, kind of quiet, weird guy. What the But ultimately, the vibes are very low-key. You see the spaceship going off, and it is kind of cool. Like, so I'm kind of mixed on the trailer overall. There's stuff that's not working for me with the Fantastic Four, mostly like the cast and some of the weird choices, but the vibes are strong. The vibes feel right, and hopefully what we're seeing is this sort of veneer of what it's like for the family before things go off the rails, and then it becomes a little bit more grounded and more serious. That's kind of what I hope will happen with this movie. Next up, we had Ironheart. They did show an actual trailer for this thing. And again, this is a trailer that looked better than I had imagined, but not super great. I mean, Ironheart is one of these shows that was developed during Phase 4 when Marvel thought they could basically do anything. And I think even they would admit they were a little out of touch with what the majority of their audience was looking for. And so Ironheart kind of just feels a little out of place with like the new direction Marvel's going in. Feels a little bit like the past. However, there's room to connect magic to technology here, which is kind of interesting because they're building Doom, and that's like his whole thing. So there are ways that Ironheart could actually work and be kind of cool. Next up, we had Daredevil, and oh my god, bro. The cast came out on stage. They're having a good time. Everybody's loving it. And they showed a trailer, and again, I can't really show you the trailer here. We'll watch it on stream and stuff like that, so come on by for that. But oh my god, bro. This has the vibes of the old Netflix show for sure. Like, the vibes were very strong. It seems super mature in its content. The conversations had between Matt and Wilson Fisk seem really interesting. Muse seems fascinating. The White Tiger seems fascinating. And how this is all weaving together with Fisk becoming mayor, it just seems really cool. We gotta look at these 3 versions of the Daredevil mask, basically confirming that Matt's gonna have several versions of the suit in the show. We got this crazy look at Punisher confronting Matt. Got to look at Bullseye in prison. We got a little slice of a fight with Daredevil and the Batons fighting against Muse, and it's like, oh my god, dude, it looks brilliant, like right out of a comic book. And it all ends off in a conversation between Kingpin and Daredevil, where Kingpin is basically acknowledging, I know that you're Matt Murdock and that you're Daredevil. It was super badass. Next up was Agatha, and it was fine. And so as far as the Marvel stuff is concerned, like, just continuing to add hype to the current hype that is overtaking the Marvel fandom right now. I think Captain America showed up. I think the Red Hulk stuff is really intriguing, and a lot of fans are going nuts for that. The new trailer for that movie is much tighter than the first trailer. It's actually getting me excited. Kind of weird that there was no Thunderbolts at D23, but I guess Florence Pugh, she was in the Sizzler reel. Like, they did this reel that showed all kinds of footage, like, before the presentation. So, like, technically the Thunderbolts was shown, but doesn't seem like any time of the presentation was spent on that movie. Fantastic Four stuff is cool. I mean, I like the theme. I do think a lot of the visuals look great in the movie. The vibe is very low-key, and so it's strong. I'm feeling it. I do just have some concerns, and maybe I just don't like some of the creative choices they made for that movie. Like Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, just not working for me right now. And even Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Like, I'm just not there. I'm not sold on him as Reed yet, but they've got time. They can fix that. And the movie might just have a different interpretation that will either grow on me or I will continue to hate for the rest of the time. First look at Ironheart is interesting. It doesn't look terrible. Maybe they can kind of strike that whole Echo space where it's like better than you imagine, but not that consequential and not something that you need to spend a lot of time thinking about. I think Daredevil's awesome. I think they know they have a hit on their hands. It's crazy that we had to do this whole creative overhaul, and it's interesting, right? Because it's like one of the reasons I'm not that pumped about Agatha or Ironheart is like it doesn't feel like they got a total creative overhaul to match up with this new vision of Marvel. But Daredevil Born Again did. And therefore, I have more reason to be excited about it. I mean, I frankly like the character a lot more than a lot of those other characters anyways, but this seems good. I think they know they have a hit. I think they know they're cooking with this Daredevil show. And again, finishing it off with Agatha, like, it was fine. That Star Wars stuff's interesting too, man. Like, no Rey movie, no KK. What is going on over there? I'm sure we'll talk about it on a stream. Speaking of stream, I'm probably live over on Twitch, maybe on YouTube as well. It's just weird with the trailers. I might have to do it on Twitch, but I'm going to go live after I get this video uploaded. And there's also more stuff happening today. A Marvel animated panel, maybe some X-Men 97 Season 2 stuff, Eyes of Wakanda first look, stuff like that. And then I'm going to be live again Saturday night for some weird Fortnite thing that Disney's doing. I don't even know what life is anymore, but apparently we're all supposed to go into the Fortnite game and watch this D23 Disney presentation that is supposed to be cool. I don't know, man. The files are in the computer, you know what I mean? As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.